Now that we have Dart installed, let's use its command line interface to generate a new project. Whenever working with a new CLI, I like to first run the help command to see which commands are available to me. So if we run dart flag help, you can see it lists out a variety of different commands like run, compile, analyze, and so on. The first command we'll want to focus on is create, because that will give us a context for a new Dart project. The create command comes with several templates built in. There's one for a server-side application, one for a command line tool, and a couple of others. Running dart create flag help will give you more details about those templates. In this course, we'll be building a simple command line app. So to facilitate that, we'll use the console simple template. The command is dart create flag t with console simple, followed by the name of your application. That creates a new app in a subdirectory, or if you want to add the app to your current working directory, you can use a period as the app name, and then use force to force it to create the files in the current working directory. Just be careful with that and make sure that you are in an empty directory. Once that's done, you'll have a starter application in the File Explorer in VS Code. There's a few files in here, but most of them you'll never really have to worry about. The pubspec YAML file is where we would add packages to this project, but the actual source code is here in the bin directory, which means binary. In that directory, we have a dart.dart file, inside of which you'll notice a main function. That main function is the entry point for any Dart application. Now to actually execute the code, we can open up the terminal again and enter dart run. The Dart compiler will find the main function and execute the code inside of it, which should print hello world to the console. So that's how we run the application, and we'll be using that command in almost every video in this course. Now the other important thing the CLI can do is compile your code to different targets. In this example, since we're building a command line tool, we likely want to compile it at some point to a standalone executable, something you can just run on your computer without any external dependencies or runtimes. To handle that, we can run dart compile with the exe option and then point it to the file that we want to compile, which is the dart.dart file. After the command runs, it should create a Dart executable file in the bin directory. And now if you go ahead and type out the file path to that executable and hit enter, it should say hello world, just like it did when we ran dart run earlier. That was quick and easy, but one of the real superpowers behind Dart is that it has the ability to compile to different targets. We can actually run that same compile command, this time with the JS option, and this time when it runs, it will create a file called out.js in the root of the project. And if we open that file up, you can see that it contains a bunch of JavaScript code. You can now take this code and run it in a JavaScript environment, like the browser or Node.js. As you can see here, I'm opening up the terminal, and because I have Node.js installed on my system, I can run node out.js, and it prints out hello world just like the other options. So now that you know how to run a Dart application from the command line, let's start taking a closer look at the Dart language itself.